A wife is bound, chapter 7, verse 39 of 1 Corinthians, a wife is bound to her husband as long as he lives, but if her husband dies, now she's single now. Okay. She is free to marry to whom she wishes, only in the Lord. Okay. So here we're asking, how do I know if my desires or my decision is in the will of God? God gives a requirement, and then God gives you a choice. The requirement is found in the latter part, verse 39, only in the Lord, only a Christian. Okay, only a Christian. Then you might ask, well, what about difference in culture, difference in education, difference in whatever, all these things, hobbies, or even ministry calling. Like, where are the instructions in that? You're free to be married to whomever you wish, but once you get married, and you'll hear this if you ever take marriage prep with me, if you're a seriously dating couple, Christian dating couple, or a engaged couple, I would say this, and I go, be very clear to discern what is it that you want and what God is calling you to. Even something as spiritual as a ministry calling. Let's say the Christian man feels called to missions, and the Christian woman feels called to stay and do works of ministry for the poor within that city, the same city, let's just say. And they both feel very, 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 very strong. Okay. Then the question is, should they get married? And my answer is, I don't know. I'll say, if you want to, but once you get married, you better make it work and make it work in such a way that one of you is not bitter, because someone's going to get bitter, might get bitter. Like, what I'm trying to say? So in that sense, is that what I'm trying to say is the answer to the question is these kind of decisions. I'm not talking about decisions that involve like doing bad things, because that's a little bit more obvious. I mean, these kind of decisions like, what should you specialize in college? What kind of job should you take? If you take a job, should you take a job in another city? If so, which city, which country, for how long? Who should you marry? Only a Christian, but whomever you wish, if that person's a real Christian. But count the cost. If you do marriage prep with me, we will talk about the practicalities of some of the things that you would want to consider in that. But even so, I would not make a rule and say you should not marry this person. If it's clear to me that both of you, if they're sitting at my dinner table, you're both Christian. Like, even things like, for example, difference in education, even difference in calling, difference in race, difference in age, right? Like, it would not be wrong, even if some people feel a little bit uncomfortable, if a Christian, one of my heroes in church history is a Puritan pastor. The Puritans were known to be very passionate Bible-believing Christians in the 1600s. Richard Baxter, he got married later in life to someone like he was 20 years younger than him. And people were like, "Oh, that's not good." And I just started thinking, yeah, I get the social stir, I get it, but where is it wrong? If she's actually a Christian, it's not actually wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? So I might say, yeah, there's implication. People will talk. You know what I mean? Or even, for example, debt. Like, I would mention debt. If there's financial debt before you're getting married, okay, you got to know that. I would mention past sexual history. Some people, unfortunately, have slept with people outside of the marriage. Have you talked about it? Okay, you got to discern, right? That kind of thing. But even so, I would not say if they find out stuff and there was a uncomfortability or discrepancy, and they were to ask, Pastor James, should we get married? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe not. You decide. I have no idea.